Welcome, lovelies, to another segment of Lousje and Bean Behind the Scene. It's Sunday, and you know what that's all about. Welcome, here we are on the couch, not really a couch, on the chair with Lousje, and it's a beautiful sunny day, but it's very cold and it's snowy. Lovelies, in order for this video to come up for you, it needs to be edited and all this, so of course this was filmed a week or so before. So if the weather has changed, I'm sorry, but hopefully it changed for the better. But right now it's cold and sunny. Anyway, first of all, I feel very comfortable in my outfit. I absolutely love it. This is the hanky linen shirt from Catharines, and it's the Midnight. I love this piece. It's a one size fits all, love. And I found these leggings from Lousje and Bean, black and white. So yeah, the leggings are nice and cozy and got some great vibrant jewelry from Siska and a lovely little dotty scarf. Yeah, I feel good and a little bit springy. So I do have to talk to you about my recent trip that I took. I went to visit my longtime friend Jannie. She has been my friend for close to 25 years. She's also from the Netherlands. We met at an antique show. She used to sell antiques in Virgil, and we've been friends ever since. So she's moved from Fonthill to Toronto, and now from Toronto to PEI. She followed her daughter and her grandchildren. She's been there now for 2.5 years, 3 years. And I always wanted to go. I've been to PEI, but only briefly, to Charlottetown, not really traveled the island. I've always wanted to go and see her. And of course, preferably in the summertime, but we've had 2 summers where this house took all of our attention. And then coming summer, I really would like to plant my garden and spend a lot of time in it. And we're having visitors coming over from the Netherlands. So next summer is also out. So I thought, why don't I go now? She said, there's nothing going on here, and she's taking a trip in May, but not right now. So I booked it and I went for 5 days. And I arrived in Charlottetown and she picked me up from the airport. She is in Rustico, and it's a very small town, a half an hour from Charlottetown. Oh my goodness. It's also going back in time, because everything is, I've found, everything is slower. The cars drive slower, there's less people, everybody's very relaxed. And there's vistas of views of snow, of course, and snow and more snow. And she kept on saying, well, there's water and there's this, if the snow is gone, and it's beautiful. So, but this was beautiful in its own way. Pristine snow and lovely landscape. She lives right on the ocean, so it was really cold. Funnily enough, she has got a little corner around her house, and the sun comes in the morning. And she had told me about it. We speak on the phone quite often. She had told me about it, that she has her morning coffee there sometimes in her parka, but the sun is already getting stronger. I've noticed that too. And you can sit there out of the wind, and she made me breakfast one morning and I sat out there, and honest to God, it was absolutely beautiful, and I felt almost like I was in Switzerland, like après-ski. That's what they do, right? Except they have a little other stuff to drink than coffee. We did go out to Charlottetown for dinner. We found a very nice vintage clothing store, used clothing store, and I bought Glenn a Creek jacket, and I bought Tessa a little jacket, and we just had fun for hours perusing. And she has a little gym club that she goes to Thursday mornings. I went with her and I met a few of the local ladies. It was really, a lot of fun. But the best thing, of course, was us catching up as friends and just, curly talk. And Glenn stayed home with Charlie, and they had a great time. So I was not sorry at all I went, and definitely going back once the weather gets nicer, hopefully soon. So, of course, Charlottetown is where Canada started, right? And they had a museum there commemorating and having lots of documentation on it to show, but it was closed when we were there. I would have loved to have seen it. But yeah, it's an important part of our country. And it was still, I was surprised, a 2.5 hour flight. So it just always amazes me how big our country is. And that's when you really feel it, that you just fly for 2.5 hours over snow, basically. Snow and more snow. It's amazing. I love our country. So a little bit of housekeeping, lovelies. I got quite, and if I don't get to your email, you have to excuse us because we get a lot and we try to fit them all in. I got a lovely email from Catherine. Catherine, you are a dear customer and you send me a really interesting email. You are planning a trip, yourself and your 2 sons, and you're going to the Netherlands in April 27th till May the 8th of this year. It's the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands, which your father-in-law was involved in. And oh my goodness, how special. I have to tell you that, yeah, you will be so impressed, and you will get very emotional on how this is being dealt with in the Netherlands, because it's huge. It's a huge thing. All the schools are closed, the school children come out, everybody's involved. It's big, it's an important thing, and so it should be. So you are going to walk the fields of where the Canadian troops went through the fields and forest and liberated the villages. My goodness, how amazing. You might meet with Princess Margriet and her husband. And Princess Margriet was born in Ottawa when the Queen and her 2 other little daughters they left the Netherlands to be safe in Canada, and they lived in Ottawa for quite a while, and she was born in Ottawa, so she's always had a connection with the war and the liberation. And then you're planning an extended trip to Paris for 5 days, and you asked me what to recommend for Paris. I've been there a few times. It's been a while. The last time I was there was probably 8 years ago with my granddaughter Lucy. I like to tell you what to avoid, in my opinion. I would not go to the Louvre. I would definitely not go. We had to stand in line. As you are in queue walking, everybody wants to see the Mona Lisa. You basically walk, you look to the right. It's this small little painting, and you look at it and you've got like 50 seconds to stand there and say, oh, and then you move on. Yet there's so much more beautiful art in the Louvre which you don't get to see, because it's basically all geared down to the Mona Lisa, unless you come back another day and do a different tour. We didn't do that. What we did do, we went to Versailles, which I would highly recommend. First of all, the gardens are absolutely unbelievably beautiful. And you go into the buildings, and there's a big history there, right? And you can take a tour, which we did. It was really nice. What we didn't do when we were there was go to the Notre Dame. Now that it has been restored after it was burned down, I would definitely go and pay a visit to that, because I've kind of been following the restoration on different shows on TV. And what they've accomplished in a very short time, actually, is next to a miracle, right? Of course, we went to the Eiffel Tower, which was a must. And the grounds around it, we had a little picnic on one of the grassy areas, and it is a must. Restaurants, I can't really recommend. I mean, I found them all quite rude, to tell you the truth, if I can say that. But of course, everything is an experience. Even if you have a rude experience, it's something to, it's an adventure, right? And that's what travel is all about. I'm so glad you are going to the Netherlands in that time. We went to the Netherlands to celebrate Klein's 80th last year in May. And we took the whole first week in May, and we were there the 4th and the 5th of May. So the 4th of May is Memorial Day in the Netherlands, and it's kind of a subdued, sad day. And if they flag their flags, they're all half-mast, and there will be lots of flags out. And there's lots of dedications in Dam Square in Amsterdam. The King and the Queen, they lay wreaths, and all the dignitaries. It's a day of remembrance. And then the 5th is Liberation Day, and the whole country is orange, and it's a big party. You are planning to take a train to Amsterdam, which is great. I think that's fantastic. If there's anything you want to do in Amsterdam, and it would be great if you go by train because it's right behind Grand Central Station. You step out of the train. Instead of going out to the front to go into the city, you go out to the back to go to the harbor. You take a little ferry that takes you 5 minutes to get across. And there you have this event. It's called This is Holland. And we can post a link for you. In about 45 minutes to an hour, you see virtually Holland from the air. And you see all the provinces, and the provinces all have their specialties, right? So highly recommend it. I've recommended it to other people that went to the Netherlands and Amsterdam. And they all said, thank you, because we were blown away. It was fantastic. And then when you're done with that, go out, come back in the little ferry, go to the Grand Central Station, walk through it, go out the front and just experience Amsterdam for a short while. Maybe have a drink on a cafe because you don't have much time, right? But thank you, and I hope you have a great time, and let us know how it all went. So more emails to answer, but we're running out of time, so I try to answer as many as possible. Last week, lovelies, we had 2 amazing releases of Polar Tricot creations and creases. And oh my goodness, it's all beautiful and you love it. It's been very well received. Okay, lovelies, tomorrow make sure you tune in. The Haarlem sweater is back, the beloved Haarlem sweater. But there's a little part that I cannot unveil. It's a secret. Tessa loves to have secrets. And this is one of them, but you're going to be really happy about it. So make sure you tune in. And other than that, enjoy your Sunday. And as always, keep on smiling.